So today I'm going to be making okonomiyaki, which is basically a Japanese savory cabbage-based pancake. There's two sort of varieties. There's a Hiroshima, which is more like stackable crepes. I think they kind of use like noodles in that more often. I'm going to do the Osaka version. I really love this. Courtney could take it or leave it, so I'm cooking for one today. It'd be a cool portion to try out. If you're cooking for two, just double everything I'm doing. But I don't know how much you can really see this. Two sauces, very prevalent, especially in this Osaka version. There's the Japanese, I believe it's Kewpie mustard, Japanese mustard, and there's the okonomi sauce. We're going to start on the sauces first. Now obviously there's different layers to do this. There is purchase or make from scratch the authentic ingredients. There is take what you have in the fridge and rig it up so it more closely resembles the authentic. And then if you're really in a pinch, you could use just American mayo and then like a sweet and tangy barbecue sauce. But I'm going to split the difference and sort of take my existing ingredients and turn them into something that closely resembles these sauces. So let's get to that part first. Alright, so for the okonomi sauce, we're going to take 2 tablespoons of ketchup, two tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and just a slight drizzle of honey. Mix to incorporate. And we have sort of a runny, tangy Asian version of barbecue sauce. And for the Japanese mustard, we're going to take a nice big tablespoonish of good old American mayonnaise. Did I say mustard? It's mayonnaise. 1/4 teaspoon of rice wine vinegar. And a pinch of sugar. Take that. Whisk. This might take a little longer to fully incorporate. But you're left with a little thicker, tangier mayo. That'll do. Alright, so I'm going to set these bad boys in the fridge. Let them set up a little bit while we work on the rest. Okay, so the cool thing about these is they're highly customizable. I'm going to do mine with shrimp. Usually they do come with bacon. I'm of course putting that on as well. But the main star of the show is definitely this cabbage. So I'm going to break down 2.5 cups of this cabbage along with a green onion, and then we can get moving along. Okay, that was pretty easy. So for this portion, we are going to just start with a 1/2 cup all-purpose flour. I'm going to add in this cabbage out of here. 1/2 teaspoon each of baking powder and fine sea salt. Whisk it together. Really, we're basically just making pancakes at this point. Now it calls for a little less than 1/2 cup of dashi broth, which is basically like a broth made from seafood or fish, similar to what you do with these bouillon cubes, beef and chicken. I don't have it. I was considering using one of these. However, I really don't want the overpowering chicken flavor, so I was looking through my cupboard and I found this little can of mushrooms and drain the juice out of it. I think it'll be a good substitute. Again, you can, pick and choose your ingredients here. If you just had water, that would be fine. I think this mushroom flavor is going to add a little more to it. So we're going to put that in there, sort of mix into a good old pancake batter. Okay, once we got all the lumps out, we are going to add in our green onion, our cabbage, roughly chopped, I have just a small handful of roughly chopped raw shrimp, just enough you think for one portion. I think I grabbed 6 of them. And an egg. Mix that all together too. Now I'm going to let that just sit there for a minute or two while I heat up my flat top. Just hopefully it'll stick together a little bit. I don't want to throw it on there right now, it'll all fall apart, so let it rest a couple minutes. Alright, so we got our greased flat top up to temp, medium high. Being that I'm just making one, probably would be easier using the skillet, but I love using this flat top, so we're going to kind of just lay this out on there. Maybe want it about an inch thick. It is supposed to be thicker, but we do want it to cook through. And then we'll cover it up to sort of speed up the process here. We're going to let this go like 5 minutes. Might seem long, but that cabbage really holds up to the heat, so it won't burn. You want it to solidify, so I'm going to check on it here and there, but about 5 minutes like this. Alright, so it's starting to crisp up on the bottom here. So this is the point we are going to put on our strips of bacon. And then we are very carefully going to screw this up probably. We are very carefully going to flip this over. Could have been better, could have been worse. And let the other side cook up a little bit. Alright, so about another 5 minutes. You can smell when the bacon's done. We are ready to plate. So yeah, this is my half portion, so I don't know, in hindsight, maybe you could get 2 meals out of this. Alright, let's top it up with some of our Japanese mayo. If you're really fancy, you'd have a squeeze bottle here. Some of our okonomiyaki sauce. And then traditionally they top this with like I don't know, bonita flakes or whatever. Looks like fish food. I would probably like that. However, I don't have that in my cupboard realistically, so I'm going to top it with another green onion and call it a day. We have my take on OSAKA-style Japanese okonomiyaki. So alright, here we have it. A pretty obscure international dish. It's delicious and really not that hard to make. You could really impress somebody by making this for them. Super easy, like I said before. It's so customizable that because of that, it's really forgiving. You can take some liberties with the ingredients, just like a good old-fashioned pancake that you're used to. But it's good for dinner, be good for like a weekend breakfast. It's Tuesday morning, about 9:30 now. I'm home from work with Jacoby, and he's already down for his nap because he is up super early today. So I'm sitting here watching the snow fall out the window and eating okonomiyaki. Life is good.